The venue, the Merlin Theatre at the CUB Malthouse. The production, Holding the Man. At long last, Melbourne's own iconic story has returned home. Adapted by Tommy Murphy from Tim Connergrove's book, it's a story of hurt, hope and tragedy, but most of all, enduring love, through the heady days of the 80s and the epicentre of the HIV crisis. It stars Guy Edmonds and Matt Zeramis.
Is someone sitting here?
No.
Do the homework?
Yep.
Me too. Difficult?
No.
Geography sucks.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's alright. You're up for the APS Best and Fairest.
Yeah. I think I've ruined my chances arguing with an umpire. Which team do you play for?
Oh, I play soccer.
Soccer show.
Oh, I used to play first basketball. I'm Tim.
John.
Yeah.
Matt Zeramis and Guy Edmonds, how are you fellas?
Good.
Now you fellas have been playing the roles now for some seasons up in Sydney, haven't you? And Brisbane. Basically you've come back to its hometown where it all actually happened. And I believe that throughout the last week you've actually had some of Tim's family and friends in the audience. Has that been a powerful sort of thing for you?
Yeah, well the Connergraves have actually come maybe 3 or 4 times to the show. They were at the seasons in Sydney.
Okay.
They came to every season. I think they came to the first at the Griffin and then the Opera House and then they didn't come to Belvoir, I don't think. They've seen it about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, so it's always it's always a real kind of buzz doing the show for them, and has extra weight when you know that the Connergraves are going to be in the audience. And on Saturday night we had a whole stack of John and Tim's friends from high school come, and that was
that are actually
in the
play,
book,
in effect,
And they actually in the play there's John makes Tim a little book.
This Is Your Life.
This Is Your Life.
Before Tim Goes Tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they actually brought in the original one that John wrote, and there was photos of John and Tim and John's handwriting, so that was quite surreal.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
Reinforced here that it's not just fiction.
Yeah.
No, we feel that every night, though. You know, I think that there's an awareness that that it is real and that it is connecting to people.
Did you have much chance to talk to the friends in detail about it?
Yeah, we had a few drinks with them beforehand, and they were all blown away by it, and it was they were really pleased with the job that we'd done,
And the translation from book to stage, and they said we got it, so that was
nailed it.
Yeah, that was nice.
And they commented on the similarities that we had between the characters, and so that, I mean, hearing that kind of stuff is really nice to hear as an actor.
Sure.
Because
it's your job.
Yeah, you've done it well.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm missing out on the thrill of the hunt sometimes, John. I mean, well, I'm nearly 21, and I'm just worried that we're missing out on what people in our generation are supposed to be experiencing. They all go on about it. The Screech Beach changing sheds, saunas, trade.
Tim, are you trying to hurt my feelings?
I feel sexually inexperienced. Don't you feel that? You've only had sex with me.
I don't want to have sex with other people.
So have your characters themselves had much of an evolution in terms of the way you've approached them or your own mindset from season to season?
I mean, I think as
I don't believe it's fair to expect
it's been over a year and a half since we started, so like just as people we've changed, and so we've as ourselves have grown up. So there's, I'm sure, parts. I mean, it's hard to tell because I'm sort of in it, but I'm sure that there are parts of Tim that have grown up or changed and evolved just as I have. As Guy, that's a given. That's just going to happen without me having to do anything. But in terms of the overall arc of Tim and John and the journey that we go through and the audience goes through, I don't think there's, since the first show, I think that's remained intact, and that's for me quite important, is maintaining that relationship and that core.
I think that maybe we sit a little bit more comfortably in the skins of the characters now, having a year and a half's worth of life experiences brings a certain, maybe there's a bit more depth to the characters.
Tim, I'm sorry to inform you that you are positive.
Shit, you're kidding.
This is the result sheet.
You know, the impact of AIDS meant nothing to me. I was too young to know about that. So learning that through doing this play, and the amount of people that have been affected by the book and AIDS, and it's been a real education. And so yeah, I suppose that's kind of another element, that an awareness that I have and bring to the role, I hope.
I just sometimes wonder if it wasn't for the fact it was Holding the Man, sort of an iconic piece, whether the community would be a bit jaded with the HIV sort of storyline, you know.
Well, I think what Tommy's always said, been conscious of, is not making it a story about AIDS,
not an
and
AIDS
not
play.
making it a story about coming out. They're elements of the story, but what he focused on was the beautiful love story of these two guys.
See, I was comfortable with the thought that John had infected me, but it's awful to think that I may have infected him. As though I've killed the man I love. You are a hole in my life. A black hole. Anything I place there cannot be returned. I miss you terribly.